Robert Farago here from thetruthaboutguns.com. Yesterday, I did something that I've never done before. I went to the gun range and I didn't wear my cap. So, sure enough, Murphy's Law, I'm practicing unholstering and holstering my 9mm, and the casing goes straight up, comes straight between my glasses and my face, and burns my skin until I shake it loose. A very painful lesson. Still hurts. But sometimes, the more painful a lesson is, the more important it is. Some people, they just don't get that. When they experience pain, they learn nothing. In fact, they think to themselves how worse things might have been if they hadn't done the stupid thing in the first place. I know it's a bit confusing. Here, let's break it down. I could have thought to myself, thank God I wasn't wearing my cap, because the 9mm casing would have gone up, come down, fallen on my cap, the cap burst into flames, Michael Jackson my hair, second-degree burns. How bad would that have been? Now that is dumb logic. But it's a natural human thought process, right? Because naturally, humans don't want to say those three little words, I was wrong. They'd rather keep doing what they're doing, believing what they're believing. They'd even face the possibility that they were wrong. Never mind admitting it to themselves or to others, no matter how bad the pain. And so, we turn to Washington, where the Supreme Court has just struck down Chicago's handgun ban. Now, the court did this because the ban is unconstitutional. It violates Americans' Second Amendment right to bear arms. But here's the thing. Chicago should have dumped the handgun ban a long time ago. It didn't work. Decades after the ban was imposed, the city is still plagued by gun crime. Last weekend, over 50 shootings. The Chicago handgun ban turned out to be nothing more than gun control theater, feel-good legislation that had no impact on the crime that it was meant to reduce. Now, don't expect Mayor Daley and gun control advocates to suddenly put up their hands in the air and say, oh, we were wrong. No. Nope. They believe that the law didn't go far enough. But the Supremes don't get it. This, despite all the pain, the agony, the suffering, the human misery surrounding Chicago's gun crime, which is almost entirely gang-related. Gangs who obviously didn't respect the city's handgun ban, never did, never will. The simple truth is that gun control can't touch them. How could it? Now, gang control, that might work. How? I don't know. I'm not a gang violence expert. But I know people who are, and gun control laws are not at the top of their list. Zero tolerance, maximum sentences for gun crime, enforcing existing laws. That's where the answer lies. So where does all this leave us? Me, I'm scarred and wiser. Chicago's scarred too. But the powers that be are no wiser than they were before. The U.S. Supreme Court has given them a chance to learn a painful lesson, to forge a new path. Maybe allowing citizens to arm themselves, to defend themselves, will reduce gun crime. Maybe it won't. But Chicago won't learn anything of value about combating gun crime until they admit to themselves that they were wrong. And then they can see what works and doesn't work. Then they can change. Hope? Hope comes later.